in Surah Baqarah 2 and 197 ayah. Alhajju ashhurun maAAloomatunfaman farada feehinna alhajja fala rafatha wala fusooqa wala jidala alhajji wama tafAAaloo min khayrin yaAAlamhu watazawwadoo feehinna khayra azzadi attaqwawattaqooni yaAALbab. The months of Hajj pilgrimage are known. So whosoever imposes Hajj pilgrimage in them, so he should not commit obscenity and do not take liberties and should not debate in Hajj pilgrimage. And what you do from betterment, Allah knows it. And take provision, so surely the best provision is to take guard and take guard from me, O you possesses the core, those who know the essence, spirit of ayah signs. Now, the first month which is forbidden, and what is forbidden is, one is fighting, we have come to know, the other is fasting, we have come to know, then we have to not, in the month of Ramadan, you cannot associate or you cannot have sexual relationship once you are in the daytime when you're fasting. We know. Now that the other months is the months of Hajj are known. We have to know, we have come to those months is Shawwal, Zulqa'dah and Zulhajjah. That is the 3 months. These are the months of Hajj. Now the question is, in these 3 months, whoever takes the responsibility of performing Hajj, what obligation he has to perform? People who do not perform the Hajj, this is not applicable to them. People who are performing the Hajj, it is for them. And what is fala? Faman farada feehinna, whoso impose Hajj pilgrimage on himself in them in the month of Hajj, he should not commit obscenity. Number one is he should not commit obscenity. Number 2 is wala fusooq, and he will not take the liberties of not performing the do's and don'ts in the Hajj. Number 3 is, and he should not debate in Hajj. At the moment, these 3 I am reading. The first is fala rafatha. Rafatha means do not commit obscene talks or obscenity in the Hajj. You see, you can be obscene with your wife in the daytime, normal days, or in the night when you want to have relationship, you can be obscene. But once you are fasting in the month of Ramadan, it is a obligation not to have that kind of relationship. You understand what I'm saying? Secondly, if you are with your wife in Hajj, and that's a faraz, so in that month itself, it becomes not to have any obscenity relationship when you are in Hajj. If you have taken the responsibility of performing the Hajj, so it is applicable on those people who have taken the responsibility of Hajj and they are in a Hajj process. If I am not going there and I am here, then it doesn't apply on me, because it says faman farada feehinna alhajj. In the Hajj, who is taken the imposing that Hajj on himself. So a person who has taken the imposing that I'm performing the Hajj. So when I'm in that state, if I'm in that locality and I'm in that stage, I'm wearing the ihram, I will not be obscene to my wife. No talks. So can you imagine 3 months? Remember, 3 months we are talking about, all these 3 months. So further it says, wala jidala. They will not debate. Sorry, wala fusooq. Wala fusooq means do not take the liberties of do not take the liberty of what? If I am asked not to commit rafatha or have obscene talk, I start obscene talk. I am taking the liberty in that when I am in that, because I know I can be obscene with my wife in normal days. So I know it's not wrong, like eating of food in the month of Ramadan. In fasting, you are not allowed to eat food, but it is lawful food. It's a lawful food. But in the month of Ramadan, I am fasting, I cannot eat. But I take the liberty and eat. Oh, what's the problem? I can eat. Similarly, if Allah says, wala farasa, do not be obscene with your wife. Suppose, do not be obscene talk. So what is wala fusu? You take the liberty when you are performing Hajj and you become obscene with your wife. You start being obscene talk. So what Allah is saying, that wala fusu means do not take the liberty of not performing, which is Allah is asking not to do in while you are in Hajj. So you take the liberty. Okay, what if I say some bad words to my wife? So what? I will say astaghfirullah. No, that is, do not take it, because these are very little things. And wala jidala, do not debate. Why these things Allah is asking you to control? Because once I have been performed Hajj 2 times. Believe me, if you are in that area, there are hundreds of people, thousands of millions of people around you, and there are many problems that comes in that time, and you have to have tremendous amount of patience. That people start debating there. They are shouting at each other. Some people, they forget the sanctity that Allah is saying not to debate. So you don't debate. It's a small thing. You are debating and arguing continuously. You cannot control yourself in that few days in Hajj, believe me, or in months. In 3 months, if I am wearing that ihram, in 3 months, in all 3 months, I cannot debate. Why you wear that ihram? For if I have taken there are 2 types of ihram. There's a separate topic of lecture on Hajj. I will discuss that in detail. If suppose I have taken that Hajj for the 3 months and I am wearing the ihram, believe me, I cannot debate the whole 3 months. I cannot have rafatha or have this obscene talk with my wife the whole 3 months. And you cannot debate with anybody whole 3 months. And there are tremendous amounts of problems that come because that's not your house. You are living somewhere in a hotel, and there are many other problems that you face. There are rush, and there are so many small little people fighting you cannot fight, you cannot argue, you cannot debate. So that means you have to develop a tremendous amount of patience. In why you are doing so? Because you are doing for Allah. Believe me, Hajj, I believe, is a tremendous amount of patience against your own ego. You may be a rich man, you may be a big ego, but once you are there, you are an ordinary man. Ordinary to the last, that you lie in Muzdalfa under the sky. Believe me, ordinary man to the ordinary, like a poor fellow who does not even have a shelter on himself. One little night. What Allah is teaching us? He is teaching us that you just one night you have to spend above in the sky, and you are lying on the believe me, on the road. Not only one man, all these rich fellows, big fellows. What is Allah teaching you? He wants you to do that go for what? A tremendous amount of patience is required, and you're crushing your whole ego into nothing. If you really understand the performance of Hajj, that's a separate topic. What I'm saying, you take the liberty of fighting there and having obscene talk with your wife, and you take the whole liberty. So wala fusooqa. You cannot take the liberty of doing all this, taking of the liberties. So that Hajj is a big topic. But what I'm saying, with what it is forbidden in the months of Hajj. Who is performing the Hajj? You cannot do this. You really cannot do this. So these are why I was telling you the months itself are forbidden, because there are certain laws that in normal condition you can debate, other than 4 months. In normal months you can fight, other than 4 months. But in the month of Hajj, when you are performing Hajj and you are in those months, all 1 month, in the 2nd month, in the 3rd month, you cannot fight, you cannot commit obscenity, you do not take the liberties, and you cannot debate in the Hajj. And further it says, and what you do from the betterment, and Allah knows this, and other things you do better in that area, when you are in that place, Allah knows it. And take provision, whatever the provision is required, you can take the provision. Surely the best provision is to take guard, taqwa. What to take guard of? What? Of the ayats of Allah. You have to take guard from the ayats of Allah in practicing the do's and the don'ts completely, because it is forbidden month and you are in that forbidden state. That in the natural state you can allow to these things, but in those times you cannot do so. That is why the Hajj is so important in life. But people go out of ignorance there. Out of ignorance they do other things which is forbidden to them, and they come back and do the same, they live the same life. So there are other things also forbidden, like I'm not going into detail about Hajj. There are many other rules also, but at the moment he says, and the best of provision is your taqwa. And people who possess the core, they know the essence, they understand this. What is the taqwa?